Hello everyone,
Hello.
myself Umesh, and we have with us Rahul Tiwari sir,
Hi
the
everyone.
faculty for economics at CSB Academy. Today we are going to talk about the key highlights of the budget of 2025-26 as presented by Nirmala Sitharaman. I will be raising some questions for which Rahul Tiwari sir is going to give us information about the things which are mentioned in the union budget. In fact, very importantly, this year, the union budget, it started with the very famous statement of Gurujala Apparao, saying that a country is not just its soil, a country is its people. So let's see what are the key highlights which are present in the budget. First and foremost, Rahulji, so what are the things which are the key areas that are focused on in budget?
Thank you, sir. In this budget, government has focused on key pillar area like agriculture, MSME, and rural and urban kind of balance they have tried to provide. And they also emphasize how to grow the exports.
How to grow the exports.
Yes.
Very good, sir. So now the thing is, this year in the budget, if we observe, so first and foremost, there is an aspect that, okay, there is focus on reforms, there is focus on inclusivity, and along with that, the final aim of the budget is prepare the roadmap for the Viksit Bharat strategy that we have by 2047. And if you look at the budget, the final print of the budget, okay, so there is first and foremost focus or high amount of focus on Garib, youth, Annadata and Nari. That is the poor, the young, the farmer and the women. These are the sections which are of special focus in the budget. First and foremost, when it comes to the Annadata, that is the farmer, what are the key provisions which are present in the budget for the farmer, sir?
Sir, for farmers, government have initiated few schemes. For example, government have tried to focus especially those areas which are under low productivity. So government, along with the state government have launched one scheme known as PM Dhan Dhan Yojana. And under this scheme, government is going to focus 100 districts initially who are having low productivity and low income of the farmers. So this is first thing, government is trying to focus on those areas where the low productivity is there. Apart from that, government have specifically target those areas. For example, they have launched a board for makhana growers, especially in the Bihar region, and they also focus on the pulses. And government is also planning to launch a holistic scheme for the development of the agriculture and rural development. So these are the major things what we can see in this budget for the agriculture sector.
Okay, so and they also have mentioned that Indian Post is going to become a catalyst for the rural economy because Indian Post has a lot of reach and the Indian Post centers are present in most of the remote and rural areas of India, and through the Indian Post system, DBT, financial inclusion, credit services, all of these things are being planned by the Indian government. So, and they are using the Indian Post as a catalyst for the rural economy. And along with that, there is special focus on high yielding seeds. And along with that, there is also mission cotton productivity too, particularly to enhance cotton productivity aim because cotton as a commercial crop is being grown in a lot of extent of Indian territory, but the productivity of the cotton seem to be very less. Now, then apart from that, there is also special focus on the sector of MSMEs this year, sir, in the budget. So,
Yes.
what are being done in the sector of MSMEs, sir?
Yes, sir. I'll let you know about MSME and our students also. But before that, as you mentioned, regarding Indian Post. So for Indian Post, with the data and other things, I can still say that in India, there are a lot of regions still where the electricity and mobile network is not there. But Indian Post is able to still reach there. So this is why government have, in fact, many times in the classes, during the lectures, we have emphasized how the Indian Post can transform the Indian economy. So now this thing is took by the government of India and they are going to focus on certain things through India Post. Government is not going to just reach it out, but government is planning to provide credit to those people. And because generally a postman in a village or in any area, if he's working for 3-4 years, so he have a knowledge of the people. So he can also function as a linkage between the credit institution. he can also provide information to the government which is necessity for the particular area. So in this way, this India Post is going to revolutionize the economy. Now regarding MSME sector, for MSME sector, government have made many bold things. First of all, they have announced that they are going to reclassify what is micro, what is small, and what is medium enterprises. In fact, it is very important for the students who are preparing for the civil services, because on the classification of MSME sector, they have asked this question twice in the prelims examination. So again, government have said that they are going to reclassify. So in upcoming months, even maybe next month, government is going to reclassify. So you have to keep a good eye on those things. What are the basis to define the micro, small and medium enterprises?
Yes.
So first of all, there is a categorization. On the basis of categorization, these micro, small and medium enterprises will be eligible for getting more finance.
Yes.
One of the biggest problem in the MSME sector is because they are not properly having a paperwork.
Yes.
So in order to address such issues, government have announced certain schemes, and in that context, government has basically focused on formalization of the sector. Government is trying to focus to provide more credit to the MSME sector.
Yes.
And once the credit is provided, market is being created, then we also have to make sure that the MSME should contribute more and more in exports. So government is focusing on three things. First, formalization. Second thing, providing the credit. Then create a proper market opportunity to sell the products.
Very good. So as regard to that, there is a program for credit card for micro enterprises, scheme for first time entrepreneurs, and the government also has specifically targeted three sectors in MSMEs. The first of which is the leather sector, footwear and leather
Yes, sir.
sector. The second is the toy sector, and the third is the food processing sector.
Yes.
And when it comes to the classification of MSMEs, as sir has pointed out, there is based on investment, based on turnover. Two criteria are being selected in order to classify the MSMEs. And for the micro, the revised investment is 2.5 crores, whereas turnover is 10 crore. For small enterprises, it is 25 crore is the investment and turnover is 100 crore. For medium enterprises, the investment should be 125 crore and the turnover should be 500 crore. These are the revised estimates. You can go through the budget. They are very clearly given and you have to focus on these things. Then after that, sir, this year, particularly the very statement of the budget says that the country should not be looked upon like soil. The country should be defined on the basis of its people. With the same ideology, they have started focusing on the development or enhancement of human capability.
Yes, sir.
And as part of the enhancement of human capability, this year they have mentioned that investing in people, economy and innovation as a special thing. Can you please highlight the important areas which are present in the investing in people?
Sir, when we talk about capability development, so the model the capability development was emphasized by the development economist like Amartya Sen. So development as a freedom, in his book, Amartya Sen have emphasized ki not only creating infrastructure which can help like port, seaport, airport, these facilities may help more to those industrialists. But when government is going to focus on health education, specifically health and education, then government can develop the capability. And according to Amartya Sen, if the capability is developed, then people are able to generate income on their own. So now government, if you will see, they have Saksham Anganwadi and Poshan 2.0. They have mentioned expansion of capacity of IITs. So Poshan, they are focusing on health and nutrition. When expansion of IITs, they are focusing on what? They are again focusing on education. Daycare, cancer centers, again, this is for health.
Yes. And along with education,
Yes, sir.
it seems so that they are focusing on innovation too. And with respect to innovation, Atal Tinkering Labs, Center of Excellence in Artificial Intelligence, Internet penetration, expansion of medical education, welfare of online platform workers, that is gig workers.
Yes.
So all of these are special areas of focus and the government is definitely trying to invest in people, economy and innovation, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, in this regard, I just want to add one more point. When the Trump assumed the presidency, within a week, he announced a $500 billion project on artificial intelligence.
Very good.
So artificial intelligence is like a dog I can mention that like German Shepherd, dog is very intelligent, but dog is going to work in the most efficient manner if you are going to train it very well.
Yes, sir.
Same thing for the artificial intelligence. Even in the economic survey, it is clearly mentioned that there is a dedicated chapter on the AI. So government want ki people in India, especially those people who are the working people, they should get awareness of AI. Because if they will be not having the awareness, then their job will be replaced by the AI.
Yes.
But if they will learn that AI, then they can go for more value addition. So this is very nice initiative of the government to train the people and to enhance the understanding with the artificial intelligence.
Very good, sir. So then apart from that, this year in the budget, in the investing in people, economy and innovation, the central government has set aside nearly 1.5 lakh crore rupees as an interest-free loan for a period of 50 years for the states. So this is one significant move in order to enhance the infrastructure in the state government, sir. 1.5 lakh crore rupees is not a small amount, and that too, no interest loans for 50 years definitely shows the central government's focus on the development of physical infrastructure through state initiatives, sir. Then apart from that, there also seems to be focus on this asset monetization plan, sir. Can you please explain to us about the asset monetization plan?
Yes, sir. I'll go to that also. But before that, like I want to highlight few things regarding support to states for the infrastructure. Various finance commission, many of the economic surveys, especially in last 25 years, the finance commissions which came in last 25 years post liberalization, economic survey, in fact many think tanks, they have highlighted the issue of uneven development in India, regional disparities. So regional disparities are there. So in order to address these regional disparities, government have to take certain initiative. In fact, in the last year's budget, government have provided capital expenditure allocation to certain states, 16 states. In fact, 16 states got the capital expenditure allocation from the state government of India. This year, that amount have been increased to massive 1.5 lakh crore, and this is going to definitely help the states to try to develop more parity at the regional level, so that development which is uneven, it can be even. Now, if we see India as a geographical location, so India is a vast country, fine, and in that context, Indian government, because we have opted a socialist economic model from independence, so government of India have lot of assets.
Yes, sir.
These assets, either they are underutilized, or they are not performing very well. So government have decided ki let's monetize these assets in order to create more capital for other infrastructure development. Plus those assets which is owned by the government of India go for the strategic disinvestments and even going for the lease, so that these resources which are underutilized or not properly utilized, they should be better utilized for the infrastructure development of the country.
Very good, sir. So then apart from that, there is focus on Jal Jeevan Mission, and there is 100% coverage is the target. There is focus on power sector reforms too,
yes,
but there is also a focus on urban challenge fund, sir. So definitely in the recent years, we have seen that there is a rising growth of population in urban areas, and urban areas are facing a lot many unique challenges, because of which reason the central government seems to have set aside nearly 1 lakh crore rupees in order to face the urban challenges and convert the cities as growth hubs and creative and redevelopment of cities and water and sanitation, sir. Then apart from that, this year particularly, there is a sector in which the government has permitted the private player by in fact amending some of the laws. There is nuclear energy mission for Viksit Bharat, sir. Can you please explain about it, sir?
Yes, sir. I would like to first of all, like Jal Jeevan Mission and Urban Challenge, I want to let you know, like to our students also specifically, you can connect with this. If you'll see last few years, Mumbai, Bangalore, Chennai, and even Hyderabad, all these are the biggest cities in India. They have faced water related issues at a different point of time.
Yes, sir.
So water is getting a big issue in the major cities in the India, because population is expanding in very fast manner. Urbanization, post-liberalization is increasing with very rapid pace. And India is one of the fastest growing in the economy in the world. And because of that, certain challenges are upcoming, and especially water related, because of the climate change issue, uneven urbanization, not proper sanitation and availability of water. So in that context, government want to make sure that the urbanization should go even and it should work properly. So in this context, and if you will see the energy, India have committed to go for net zero.
Yes, sir.
So in order to be get net zero, we need a clean energy sources. So when we talk about clean energy sources, nuclear energy, though it may be a little bit controversial because of the safety issue, but it is one of the cleanest source. And till then now, NPCIL, Nuclear Power Corporation of India, is a exclusive agency which look power plants in India. But as India have signed a nuclear civil nuclear deal with many of the developed countries, starting from US, France, Russia, UK, with many countries we have a nuclear deal. So in that context, private sector can accelerate the integration of nuclear power based energy with the our urban centers. And if you'll see country like, for example, country like Japan, country like Russia. So country like Russia, which have abundant source of natural resource or conventional sources, still they are relying on what? Still they are focusing on nuclear energy. Even France, which have access to cheap energy sources, conventional energy sources, still they are relying on what? Nuclear power. So it is not just because of a climate change, we should focus on nuclear energy, but in the longer run, nuclear energy, in the longer run, not in the short run, but in the longer run, nuclear energy is also much cheaper than the coal-based power plant. Yes. So it is energy efficient, plus it's clean. Yes, there are the safety issues, but if the safety issues, for example, we have never seen any kind of nuclear disaster in European countries. Yes. So in that context, focus on the nuclear energy because it's an energy. Yes. And energy and water, urbanization, these are the important aspect of country which is aspiring for being developed.
Yes.
So it's a very, yes sir. So in that
and particularly they are focusing on amending the Atomic Energy Act and Civil Liability for Nuclear Damage Act. Yes, I remember in the context of the civil nuclear deal that you were talking about, the civil liability was a major concern for the private sector.
Major concern.
So because of which reason, so now it is being amended, which is a good thing. And apart from that, there is a focus on UDAN too. So particularly, so nearly 120 new destinations they are going to construct the airports in, which is a very good initiative, as the future of travel is air travel. So there is a lot of investment ongoing in the air travel sector too, sir.
Yes,
so
sir.
And making the air travel accessible and affordable to the poorer sections of the society seems to be the government's agenda for the past 10 years. And this budget is taking forward the same agenda.
Yes, sir. In fact, if I just want to inform all the students, if you see in last 5 years, Indigo and Air India, which are two biggest service provider in India, they have given a record number of purchase of the passenger jets, which is highest in the world right now. If I'll say that two companies of India, they have combinedly ordered somewhere around 600 aircraft.
Yes.
Which shows that how the demand of the urban sector is growing. So private sector is ready to invest, but unless airport is not there, they can't do any much. So this is why I feel that this is little bit delayed. I was expecting it's supposed to be done 2 years back, but sooner or later government came with this UDAN 2.0 and they have focused on it. And in fact, UDAN scheme, if many of you have appeared in the Civil Services Mains Examination 2024, specifically question was asked in the UDAN scheme. Yes. So government is focusing on the air travel. Why? Because air travel is fastest mode.
Yes.
And though many people do not consider it as the safest one, but if you will compare the casualties in number of the casualties, still it is the most safest option.
Yes. See, one more thing is, as part of the budget itself, there is focus on innovation particularly. So there is a PM Research Fellowship Program, which extends nearly 10,000 fellowships for the people studying in IITs and IIScs. The research and development innovation is there. National Geospatial Mission is given special importance. Then Gyan Bharatam Mission, particularly in order to translate the manuscripts and maintain digital records for the manuscripts of India. There is also focus on creation of germplasm and gene banks, sir. So because there are many species which are becoming extinct, the government is focusing on preserving the genetic makeup of these species of plants, so that okay, in future there is no threat to Indian food and nutritional security. Then apart from that, there seems to be a lot of focus on exports too, sir. So what are the special initiatives in the budget for promotion of exports, sir?
Okay, sir. I'll come to this point. Like as you have highlighted the issue of focus on education and research. Here, just want to mention one fact. If we see the Japan, before 1880s, Japan was a kind of a low income, low developed country.
Yes, sir.
But the Japanese government, in fact, the rulers of the Japan, from 1890 onwards, they started spending more than 5% of their GDP on the education.
Yes, sir.
More than 5% GDP. In fact, if you see today, even today, India is not able to reach 2% of their GDP. They went for more than 5%. At a point of time, it reached to 10% of their GDP.
Yes, sir.
So Japan was converted into the knowledgeable society, and still today, after US, the most number of the patent and the research paper is submitted by the Japan.
Very true, sir.
Despite being a resourceless country, but because of extremely rich in the knowledge and culture, Japanese still they are one of the top 5 economy in the world.
Yes, sir.
So until unless you are not going to focus on your conventional knowledge, until unless you are not going to focus on the research, it is not possible for any country to be the become a Vikasit or developed. So in that context, government have taken the right initiative to promote the education. Regarding export, because India is an energy deficient country, so our imports are going to rise and rise and rise if we will grow. And in that context, we do not have any choice, but we have to increase our exports. And if we'll compare with the China, still we are very low in the exports. So export need to be what? Focused.
Yes, sir.
And it is one of the theme of the government in this budget to increase what? Exports. In the previous budgets, government was a lot of talking about make in India. So just not make in India for the India. Now let's make it India
for the world.
For the world.
Yes, sir.
So with this focus, government have tried to provide more credit to the sectors, specifically MSME sector, because MSME sector contributes more than 35% in India's export. So providing credit, focus on the market, creating system like Bharat Trade Net. With that, government want to connect with them with the global supply chain, providing the credits, providing all necessary thing. And here in this context, government is also going to expand the role of ECGC, Export Credit Guarantee Corporation of India, which provide not only credit, but also risk assessment as well as market facilitation.
Yes. Insurance also is provided.
Yes.
Sir. So I think that is one thing. So this way we are trying to make in India for the sake of the world. So is one important theme that sir has pointed out. Then when it comes to the financial sector reforms and development, sir, this year particularly the CIBIL score or the credit score is being extended to the people living from the rural areas. So there is needs for SHG members, people in rural areas. For them, a specific score called Grameen Credit Score is being given, sir. Maybe this will enhance the capability or the trust of the banks on the person. So is one important theme that has been touched upon, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, in this context, I'll like to mention this thing as a revolutionary.
Yes.
Why it is a revolutionary? Because for the rural people, even they have certain basic things, still the credit cost is very high. Microfinance institutions are charging exorbitant 24% annual interest rate.
Sir.
And a lot of unorganized sector lending is there. RBI is consistently pushing the microfinance institutions and other lending institutions to cut down the interest rates. And in fact, recently, state of Karnataka, they have given this thing that they are going to make a law for the financing. So financing in the rural sector is a big issue.
Yes.
Why? Because first of all, they do not have the proper documentation.
Yes, sir.
Even they have the documentation, still the interest rates are very high. But if a person is going to have a CIBIL score, like CIBIL score, based on certain data and facts, and on that basis, he can claim that I am eligible for low interest based credit
Loan, yes.
loan, and more financial institutions like banks and other non-banking financial companies, which are generally little bit apprehensive about to involve in the rural sector because of the fear of loss.
Yes.
Once they will have this assurity, yes, SHG and the rural people are having proper credit score,
Yes.
then the finance availability is going to definitely increase.
And along with that, there seems to be an increase of FDI in insurance from 74 to 100%, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, which is actually very good for enhancing the insurance penetration in India.
Yes, sir.
So, and one more thing is the diversity of insurance portfolios are going to get into India. And people will have better insurance schemes is what I expect from the enhanced FDI in insurance sector, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then apart from that, there also seems to be some regulatory reforms too, sir. So can you please enlighten us about the regulatory reforms?
Yes, sir. If we talk about the regulators in India, so for example, RBI, SEBI, IRDA, PFRDA, these are four prominent regulators. RBI regulates the entire financial
Yes,
markets,
yes.
whereas financial institutions, whereas SEBI regulates financial market, IRDA regulates insurance market. So what it is seen that though we are of almost a quarter completed in the 21st century,
Yes, sir.
but still the regulators' mindset is not to facilitate but more and more on regulate,
Yes, sir.
to prevent rather than to facilitate. So if you want to make sure that the industries which you are regulating, that should be more employment generation based. So certain reforms are required in the functioning of these institutions, and that is why government have taken a big step. In fact, we can compare these kind of the reforms initiative of the government of India. What IMF was keep pushing the government of India, what you did,
Yes.
what
Maybe
you did.
these are part of the second generation.
Yes,
reforms,
second
right, sir?
generation reforms. Yes, sir. So these are the part of second generation reforms which are long due since last 25 years.
Yes, very good. So then over and above that, sir, there seems to be one new index that has been created, like investment friendliness index of the states. So this goes one step beyond ease of doing business.
Yes,
So
yes.
because here, not just the ease of doing business, but how friendly the state government is towards investment is being assessed, sir.
Yes,
so we
sir.
have to wait for the criteria which are being considered on the index. But this is a new and path-breaking proposal which has been made by the center, sir, in the budget.
Yes, sir. I like to mention few examples here. Like when a semiconductor sector was promoted by the government of India, and one big company want to invest in India, Vedanta, they want to invest in India, and there was a battle between two states, Maharashtra and Gujarat.
Yes.
And finally, Gujarat who got this project, and then politicians in Maharashtra, they are accusing Gujarat have used the influence of the Prime Minister.
Yes.
But that was competition between two states only.
Yes, sir.
The thing is, once you are going to create an index, so the bureaucratic political class who is involved in the state's functioning, when they will see that they are at bottom or they are in the below lower level, then they will push themselves to
Enhance
up in the
their-
order.
yes.
Because it may be also later, sooner or later, it is also going to become a political issue in the India.
Yes, sir.
So this initiative is going to put economic issue, more important issue in the public domain.
Yes, sir. And there seems to be one more initiative, that is Jan Vishwas bill. So this bill, it tries to decriminalize more than 100 provisions in various laws, sir.
Yes,
so
sir.
because earlier, in fact, in India, there was regulatory terrorism, wherein the people who break certain rules and regulations, they are being criminalized and jailed. Now, the criminalization aspect in various laws is being reduced in order to facilitate private investment is my expectation, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then the most important change, sir, that is direct tax proposals.
Yes,
So
sir.
when it comes to the income tax, there seems to be a lot of confusion. Because in the budget, it is clearly mentioned that 0 to 4 lakh is a nil tax, 4 to 8 lakhs is 5%, 8 to 12 lakhs is 10%. But in the media, it is being reported that till 12 lakhs, there is no tax.
Yes, sir.
So how is it, sir?
Sir, in the context of income tax, there is a concept of gross income. So gross income, what you are earning. But before paying the tax, as per Income Tax Act 1961, government provide three things: exemption, rebates, and deductions. So for example, if a person is having some savings, so that savings can be out of that tax payment. If a person is married and he have children. So for 2 children, government provides certain education exemption. If a person is living on rent, then rent exemption is also there. For example, this year they have increased from 2.4 lakh to 6 lakhs.
Yes, sir.
So actually your gross income, what government is mentioning here, that is gross income to be taxed. 0 to 4 lakh, no tax.
Yes, sir.
Then 4 to 8 lakh, 5%, then 10%, then 15%.
Yes, sir.
But before this tax is calculated from gross income, 3 things are being minus, that is deduction, rebate
And exemption.
exemptions. So if you are going to use all possible exemptions, rebate and deductions, you can save up to 12 lakh rupees and effectively you will be under the zero tax category. And in that context, these media outlets are discussing ki if you are having income up to 12 lakh, you are being what?
Exempted. Sir, and there seems to be a statistic on the inflow of the money to the government and the outflow. So it seems so that in total, the money which is being spent by the government is 54.9 lakh crores, whereas the inflow of money is 50.6 lakh crore, is the inflow of money for the government through revenue, and the expenditure seems to be 54.9 lakh crores, sir. So
Yes, sir.
the fiscal deficit 3 years back during the COVID period, it has become nearly 9%, 9.5% also it has gone to, if I'm not wrong. Now, okay, the government is trying to bring back the fiscal deficit. Yes. So what is the target for fiscal deficit? And as far as my understanding goes, this time the fiscal deficit is going towards 4.8%, sir.
Sir, when we talk about budget, I would like to mention 3 things. One is budget estimate, second is revised estimate,
Yes.
and then it's an actual. So when government presents a budget, government given estimates ki this is our expected expenditure, this is our expected source of income. So that is budget estimate. Right now, for example, today, it's the 1st of February and 2024-25 financial year is going on and government has presented the budget of 2025-26. So for 2025-26, government have given the budget estimate, whereas the ongoing financial year, of which 3 quarters are completed, 4th quarter is going on. So what government have given the budget for 24-25 at that point of presentation of budget? So government have revised it. These are the revised estimate. So if we will see government's budget estimate regarding fiscal deficit, that is 4.4%.
Yes, sir.
That is 4.4%. In fact, government in the last budget also tried to go for 4.4%, but it is estimated that it will reach somewhere around 4.6 to 4.8%. So for this financial year, what in fact last year when the election was due, so people was expecting ki the fiscal deficit is going to increase. So even government took a gamble in the election year because government do not want to increase the fiscal deficit beyond 4.5%. In fact, as per FRBM Act, the fiscal deficit should not be more than 3%.
Yes, sir.
But country like India, developing country like India, to manage the fiscal deficit at 3% level is extremely difficult. And there are many things which drive government of India to have a higher fiscal deficit. But still government is focused on more fiscal discipline and fiscal prudence, and government is trying to reduce the fiscal deficit to below 4%. But to reach the 4% or below 4% is a gradual approach. So government was trying to have below 5%,
Yes.
settle it to 4.5, then gradually 4,
Towards
then
yes, sir.
3.5 to 3%.
Yes, sir.
So this is the approach.
This seems to be the good discussion, sir. So then, apart from that, in the expenditure of major items, I could see one thing, that the defense budget expenditure is almost 4 times that of the education expenditure, sir.
Yes, sir. India have, sir, first of all, we have a long maritime boundary, plus we have one of the longest border, land border, and land border with 2 hostile nations.
Yes, sir.
And that is why our expenditure on defense is high. In that context, if you will see this defense expenditure, more than 50% expenditure, in fact, in 60% expenditure is going on salary and pensions.
Yes, sir.
So defense expenditure is not only this year, but in fact since independence, if you will see ministry-wise, if you will see the ministry-wise, defense expenditure is the highest expenditure because of our certain issues and problems which we do face.
Yes, sir.
For example, if your adversaries are purchasing new generation aircrafts,
Yes.
then you will also compel to purchase.
Yes, we will be obligated to purchase.
Yes, obligated to
And
purchase.
I think so that even education, health, and other sectors, they will also have contributory spending by the states too, right, sir?
Yes, sir.
This is only the central government
Yes,
budget.
yes,
And
yes.
central government mandate is defense.
Yes.
Whereas rural development, home affairs, agriculture,
States-
and allied
yes,
activities.
sir.
So there, the states spending
States-
also will enhance the overall
Yes.
spending.
Yes.
So
yes.
the figures hide the real picture, is what I think, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In this context, we can say that.
Yes, sir. Okay. So on this note, let's wind up the discussion on budget. So we got a lot of inputs, and for more such inputs, please join and subscribe the CSB IAS Academy app. So thank you, Rahul sir. So it
Thank
was
you, sir.
very nice discussing with you, sir.
Thank you, sir. And I would like to also inform that we are also going to have a detailed explanation of this budget and economic survey very soon. In that detailed discussion, we will provide from how the budget is being made to each and every fine details which is presented by the Government of India in Budget and Economic Survey. So stay tuned and be connected with us. We are definitely going to provide you in-depth analysis plus questions on that for the practice of prelims and mains examination.
Thank you.